Imagine this. You've just finished cancer treatment, and instead of feeling relieved, you're full of fear, anger, and exhaustion. And then somebody says to you, just stay positive. Everything happens for a reason. Does that sound familiar? For many cancer survivors, this well meaning advice can feel like a slap in the face. So today, I'm unpacking the myth of toxic positivity and exploring whether staying positive really helps or it just adds more pressure to an already difficult situation. And I want to start off by saying I am somebody who's worked really, really hard to have a more positive outlook on life. I am naturally prone to depression. I've had some really difficult chapters in my life. And through years of study and personal development work, I have cultivated a positive mindset. But that's an internal thing for me. So, what I'm talking about today is the relationship we have with other people and how sometimes cancer survivors can have enormous pressure to remain positive and keep smiling when actually they are full of rage. Okay, so I'm going to talk today about what is toxic positivity, easy for me to say, how it can show up for some people. And I'm going to try to answer the question, can a positive mental attitude truly help, or is it just another burden when you've already got enough stuff going on? And I'm going to give you some strategies to navigate this complex topic because, as always, there's not one size fits all. But I'm going to talk generally about things that have happened to me, experiences that I've had, and some of the people that I work with. So first of all, what is toxic positivity? And it can seem sometimes, if you read the media, that there's a cultural obsession with happiness and positivity at all costs. And of course, we all want to be happy, but life's not like that, is it? We know that there's light and dark. You know, there's ups and downs to all, everybody's lives, not just a cancer survivor. But particularly, people will say things to cancer survivors like, stay strong, everything happens for a reason, and at least you're alive, you should be grateful. And those things sometimes can really grate on you or a cancer survivor if they're really, really struggling. They might not feel glad to be alive. They might feel really resentful and angry. And it can be really harmful, I think, because if those emotions are real emotions that people are feeling, the fear, the anger, and the grief for what you've lost. I hear this time and time again. There's a lot of grief in cancer survivorship, grieving for the old life that you've lost. You know, so many people that I deal with have lost their relationships, they might have lost their friends, their partners. A lot of women I deal with have lost their breasts, you know, and quite rightly so. They're quite angry for a while about this, about what they've lost, about the unfairness of it all, and why is this happening to me? Now, nobody wants to stay in a pity party, but those emotions are real emotions. Okay. And when people make comments like stay strong, it can create a pressure sometimes to suppress those negative feelings. And it can really lead to isolation, where a survivor feels that they can't share how they truly feel. They absolutely might feel, well, what is, you know, everyone's saying I should be really strong and be positive. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I'm not handling this very well. But those emotions are real. We don't want to stay there in that dark place. But actually, these emotions, I think, need to be acknowledged. Okay, so the myth of staying positive to heal. And we hear this a lot, that the idea of staying positive can improve outcomes or even cure disease. So where does this myth come from? Well, there's a lot of anecdotes about this. There's a lot in the media about, oh, she beat it because she was so positive. And I know quite a few people now that have actually dealt with their cancer. As you know, I'm always going to say this. I'm not here to give medical advice or tell people what they should do, but I do know a lot of people that have dealt with their cancer with natural healing, where they've attacked their mindset, their nutrition, their stress levels, their sleep, the quality of the water that they're drinking, the quality of the food. There's a lot of stuff goes on, and part of that will be positive thinking. Now, if they have a successful outcome, does that mean that the being positive cured them? Well, not really. And there's a lot of studies done on this. And the evidence is mixed on the link between positivity and physical health. Having said that, none of us want to live in a negative headspace, do we? It's great if we can feel positive. But what I'm trying to say is the pressure to feel positive at all times when you are angry is not always a healthy thing. Okay, so the science behind emotion and healing really tells us that stress and negativity aren't inherently bad. They're just natural responses to what you're going through. As I say, if you get the shock, the trauma of a cancer diagnosis, and then the treatment that you're going through, you are allowed to feel bad sometimes. I'm not saying everybody has to feel positive, but also sometimes just to sit with that bad feeling, that negative feeling, that anger, that grief, and deal with it. Don't pretend that it's not happening. I think that acknowledging difficult emotions can really reduce stress and improve your mental health if you're not constantly battling against this. Well, not only have I got my anger and my grief or whatever these emotions are, but I've also got to manage the expectation from other people. And I think there is a lot of pressure sometimes to stay positive for other people, quite rightly so. You don't want to be a complete bitch, but actually, when you go into that cancer world, there's a lot of thinking about how your friends, your family, and your colleagues are going to deal with it as well. They expect you to be positive because they're feeling really uncomfortable sometimes. They don't always know what to say. They don't always know what is the right thing to say. Is there a right thing to say? And so it might make them feel a little bit better if you are positive and putting on the brave face. And survivors can often feel the need to protect others from their struggles. But the toll, the price that you pay for performing positively, I think, is that you're carrying that around with you. When actually, for once in your life, and I say this a lot, especially for women, a cancer diagnosis is the time to say, no, actually, this is the time to put me first. I'm dealing with my own healing. I'm dealing with my own journey. I'm dealing with my own treatments. I'm not going to become completely unmindful of other people, but actually, this is the time to think about what I want. So coping with anger and grief, these emotions are valid and they are necessary for processing your trauma. You wouldn't be human if you didn't feel angry and if you didn't grieve for the life that you've lost. And I've got a quote here of somebody that said, I was furious at everything, the diagnosis, the treatments, even my own body. But when I expressed that, people would tell me to look on the bright side. And that made me feel so alone. And that's a very sad quote to hear, isn't it? And I can completely understand where that's coming from. And again, I don't think those people were being particularly cruel. There is no right thing to say to a cancer survivor, but actually look on the bright side when you're going through cancer. No, actually, you're allowed to be pretty fed up. You're allowed to be angry. And I'm here for that. I'm here to say your emotions are your emotions. Nobody can tell you what's right and what's wrong. So what to think really now? Can a positive mental attitude help PMA? So I really find it's helpful to find moments of hope and gratitude without denying your pain, without pretending that everything's okay. And I really work with the cancer survivors that I coach as developing their resilience. So it's like lifting weights at the gym. The more you can use tools, the more that you practice resilience and being positive, the more you feel stronger. But that's for you. It's not as an expectation. There's no right and wrong way of dealing with this. And it's not about making other people feel better. It's about making the cancer survivor feel okay with what they're going through. And also thinking about a balanced mindset. We all have light and dark, we have ups and downs, but thinking, well, do you know what? Yeah, I can feel angry, but I can also feel grateful at the same time. It's not either or. It's not one thing or the other. I really believe that PMA, positive mental attitude, can become toxic when it dismisses the full spectrum of emotions and it's denying that you're allowed to feel like that, because you are. Okay. And when survivors feel guilty for not being positive enough, I think that's a very dangerous road to go down. You've got enough going on in the cancer world without feeling guilt about not being positive. So let that go. Let that stuff go. Okay. So I said I was going to talk about some strategies for dealing with toxic positivity. So I've got an example here of what to say when somebody that insists that you must stay positive. So for instance, a friend says to you, you have to stay positive. It's the only way to get through this. So you could respond quite angrily, or you could take a breath, step back and say, I appreciate your encouragement, but it's important for me to feel all of my emotions, even the tough ones. It's part of how I am healing. Okay. You don't have to use my words exactly, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Don't dismiss how you are feeling and don't let other people tell you how you should be feeling. This is about you. Another scenario might be a family member says, everything happens for a reason. And your response might be something like, well, I'm not sure if I believe that, but I do believe that if I can make meaning of what I'm going through, even if it's really hard right now, I might appreciate the lessons I'm learning in time. So there are gentle ways that you can set boundaries with well-meaning friends and family. Just tell them that you need time to process. You might just want to tell them you need time to process your own stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are healthy ways to process emotions. You don't need to have an argument with somebody unless you really want to. You can journal. Journaling, writing down your feelings, like just a constant stream of stream of consciousness, just writing down in a book that nobody else has to see. Just writing down exactly what you're thinking, how you're feeling, or talking to a good therapist or a good coach or a good friend. A lot of people find it helps to join support groups with other people who are understanding their journey, and just to look somebody in the eye and say, yeah, I felt like that too. A weight can be lifted when you talk to somebody like that. Another way that you can process emotions is practicing mindfulness or meditation to acknowledge your emotions without judgment. And I've talked before about meditation, something I struggled with for years. And I thought, I'm never going to be able to meditate. I'm never going to be able to turn off that chattering monkey mind that I've always got telling me, oh, why are you sat here? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And I've learned now over many years, it's not about turning off that voice. It's just being quite detached from it and observing it from a distance and thinking, okay, yeah, I do have stuff to do, but actually I'm putting that to one side for now. I'm just going to sit and be. I find it help to focus on my breath, to focus on a candle, just to sit even for 5 minutes. I really find meditation, just still that mind, can help you to process your emotions and get more in balance within yourself. Okay, so I hope that you found that helpful, what I've talked about today. What I've really been trying to say is toxic positivity can be harmful, but balanced positivity can help. Okay, it's okay to feel your emotions. It's all part of the healing journey. Okay, so I'd really encourage you, if any of this has resonated with you, please get in touch with me, share your experiences on toxic positivity. I think the more we talk about this, the more we normalize it, the more it helps other people who might be feeling alone and feeling like there's something wrong with it because they're not handling their emotions very well. There's no right and wrong way to handle a cancer journey. There really isn't. It's a tough one. But as I say, it's all, to me, it's about developing your resilience, developing your coping strategies and getting stronger in yourself, more emotionally strong, that you can cope with life's ups and downs. Okay. If anybody's interested, you know, I've got a coaching program that helps cancer survivors. This is one of the areas that we touch on. There's a lot of different areas. So my coaching program, you can either do it one-to-one with me. I love to work one-to-one with people. Usually over 12 sessions. That's my favorite way to work with people, is where we really get under what's going on for you, the reasons why you're feeling like you are, giving you some coping strategies, working with you to work out a plan for your full wellness, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, whatever it is you need. Again, it's tailored to you. Or I've got an online course that you can just dip in and out of when you want to, work through the short modules. And again, it's all about having your happiest and healthiest life after cancer. So I want to leave you with a quote. And it says, this really resonated with me: true strength comes from honoring all of your emotions, not just the happy ones. So please remember, positivity can be a powerful tool, but only when it comes from a place of authenticity. Don't let anyone, yourself included, pressure you into skipping over the hard parts. Okay, you deserve to feel everything you need to feel on your healing journey. And if you ever need a reminder, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Thank you so much for listening, my love. As always, I'd urge you to stay safe, stay sane, have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for listening. Take care, my lovely. Bye-bye.